Hi all, and in today's video I'll be talking about my first hackathon experience. For those who are new to this channel, hi, I'm Jonah. I am a first year completed student from a tier 3 college in India. So I am doing my BTech in computer science. So I'm currently like have just completed my first year and I'm in my summer break, and now I'll in another, I think in around 15 days. Yeah, I'll be going back to college to resume my second year. So yeah, so this channel, if you are not aware of what it is about, it is a community of students where we will grow together. So there are a lot of YouTubers out there who are teaching you how to do things, right? But they would have already been in a, they would have already gone through the path and they would be in a much better position than us to give us this advice. But in my case, I am not. I'm still a student, so I am still learning and figuring out a lot of things, just like how you are. So I think you can relate with me a lot, especially if you're from a tier 2 or tier 3 college. And in my previous video, I had talked about what are the things that tier 2 and tier 3 students don't have, and how do we not notice it, and how our colleges fake, give us this fake confidence of doing a lot of things, but in reality, we don't. So that is what I spoke about in the last video. So if you want to check it out, I've given the link for it in the description down below. Do check it out. And in this video, we're going to talk about my first hackathon experience, as I said earlier. So, yeah, let's get into this video. So, I attended my first hackathon on the 12th of July, which is 4 days prior to the day of shooting this video. I'm shooting it on the 16th. I don't know when you'll be watching this, but yeah. So, how the experience was is what I'm going to talk. So, we were a team of four. So I was introduced, and I was introduced to this hackathon by one of my friends, one of my mentor, and my guide. All three are the same person, which is Suraj Bhaiya, who is my senior in college. So he's the one who kind of guides me with everything that I do. He teaches me a lot of stuff. He introduces me to a lot of new technology, what I should be doing, and so yeah, that's how it is. So he is the one who asked, there's a position like we want, if you are interested to join the hackathon. So I was like, yeah, I'm down to join. So yeah, I mean, yes, that's how I got into it. I got the opportunity to contribute. And the other two teammates were Aman and Harshita. Harshita is currently pursuing her third year of engineering at a college in Udupi, Karnataka. So she is also a mutual friend of Suraj Bhaiya, and the other team member is Aman. Aman is a third year student from IIT BHU. So these were my teammates, and except for Suraj Bhaiya, I don't personally know the other two. I've known them through this hackathon experience. And so we decided that me and Harshita will be doing the front end, and Suraj Bhaiya and Aman will be doing the back end. So this is what was planned, and so we said okay. And in the morning of the hackathon, which is like around 8:45, 9. So we were all ready. So I got up. It was a Saturday morning. I got up. I set up my laptop, and then I sat in this very same place, and I got all ready for the hackathon. I was very excited because it is my first experience of how a hackathon is going to be. And I've watched a lot of videos online on people talking about their hackathon experiences and how they were so clueless. They went in, and when they had the opportunity to win the hackathon. So I was like, there are chances that we could do it. So before I talk further, I'm going to tell about my background, like what I do and what I have learned. So if you want to like check out the legitimacy of whatever I'm saying, I have given my LinkedIn profile down in the description below. Do click on it and just scroll through it, and you will see a lot of my skills, what I've been learning, and I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, so you can even connect with me there. So so what I have been learning in the past 1 year is going to be a separate video, but here I'm just going to give a brief about what I do. So I'm personally, concentrating more on web development. I have pretty much done more of front end, and now I am getting introduced to back end as well because I think being a full stack developer is has much more opportunity, opens much more, it has more wider uh, scope for opportunities and scope for internships and job than front end or back end. So especially when you do a full stack, if you are a full stack developer, you get an opportunity to network with a lot of people regarding multiple softwares, and you get a complete overall picture of how a web is developed. So I personally got the interest to do it when I was in, like, I think almost towards the end of first sem, which is around December of 2024. That's when I got introduced to doing this project. Um, doing this project, and then to learn the web development. So I started with HTML and CSS, and then I later moved into JavaScript. And yeah, in my future videos, I'll be talking about which is the best place to learn HTML, how much time is optimal to learn all this, and that all that I'll be talking in my future videos. And yeah, that's what I did, and that's how my web dev journey started. And so with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, after which I learned to Git and GitHub. So I was learning a bit of command line prompts and all that, and I was all over the place. So after that, I was not learning anything properly, and I was like trying my hand with like random things like machine learning. Just do something, and I would learn some basics, and then I would skip to another thing. I was just constantly jumping, and I was not consistent. So yeah, in the later half, I didn't do much in my second sem. Like I did a bit, but I didn't do much. Like I was just jumping around. Well, jumping around helped me learn and know about a lot of things, but when it comes to experiencing or like doing real world projects, I didn't do much. So I was like, okay, let me not stress myself too much because I'm still in second sem. But yeah, on the other side, I mean, I was always saying like, oh yeah, you should be doing more because there's so many people out there who are hustling to be better versions of themselves every day. So it's very important for you to do the same. And I was like constantly pushing myself, and then yeah, I did my final exam, and then I came back home. And for engineering students, like usually we have a long vacation after our first year. Like after every completion of every year, we have a long vacation. Usually for students to do internships. So I applied in a few IITs for research internships, and I unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to do it. So after which I read an article which said like, you know, upskill yourself in the first year, don't just look for internship and all that. So I was like, okay, let me upskill myself. Like things that I couldn't do in the second year of college, let me sit and do it now. So yeah, I did a reflection post on what I did in my first year and what I should be doing in the following years. So if you want to read more about it, do check my LinkedIn, or if you are active on Medium or blog post, do follow me there as well. I'll give the link for it in the description down below. So that's how it started, and that's how it went. And I got to yeah uh, talk with Suraj Vaya, who's my senior in college. He just completed his second year and he's moving to third, and I'm completing my first and moving to second. So we have a 1 year age gap, and that's how it is. And he kind of guides me in everything that I do. He is also interested in development and machine learning and a lot of other stuff. He has experience and interest in wide range of things. So he kind of guides me into doing all of this. So that is how it is going, and yeah, that's how I got my first opportunity. So talking about my hackathon, it started around 9. I don't know why dogs are shouting. I'm sorry for the noise, but yeah. Uh, the hackathon started at around 9 o'clock, and yeah, it was going good. So I was like super excited. They gave the prompt, like they gave the problem statement. We had like 4 options to choose from, and out of which we chose a Q&A platform, which we should build from scratch called Stackit. So Stackit is a platform where users can ask for questions, and other users can answer it, and they can add tags. They can add upvotes, so they can give you like their suggestions. So it is pretty much like Stack Overflow, right? It's a more feasible and more fun version of Stack Overflow. So that's what we planned on doing. So we did a bit of brainstorming on what we want to build, and then we started the work like around 9:30 a.m. So from 9:30 a.m. onwards. So I think by around 10 or 10:30, Harshita was ready with the first templates of what we were to do. Like she was ready with the full page of the thing and different stuff. And I was like so lost. I didn't know what to do. I then texted Harshita asking like, do you want me to help you with something? And she said, do a user page. So I was like, yeah, I'll do a user page. And then I misunderstood it. So I thought user page meant login page. So I was like, okay, let me do a login page. And we were building it with MERN stack. So MERN stack is MongoDB, Express, JS, React, and N stands for Node.js. So Node and Express are backend back for the backend, and React is for the front end, and MongoDB for the database. So this is what we plan on doing. And I haven't worked with React projects before. I know what React is. I just know some basics of it. I've been learning, in this 3 months, 2.5 months of vacation. I've been learning Node and Express a bit, and I know everything as a theory, right? Like I know what happens, how to initialize variables, how to do this, what are its features, and all that. But I haven't built real world projects, so I didn't know how to do it. So now I was like asking ChatGPT how to do it, and then ChatGPT was giving me some stuff to do, and I was doing it in Visual Studio Code, and yeah, I got something, and I was like, okay, we're doing something, and then boom, it prompted an error. That's when my error streak started. So from that point onward, like I think this was all around I think 10:30 ish. So from 10:30 onwards till 2 p.m. I was sitting in front of the computer trying to debug error after error after error because I didn't know how to, change, what to change. I didn't know what I missed out on. I didn't know how I could make some changes in it. Like, what is it that is prompting the error? What is it that is causing the error to happen? I was so confused. So I was asking ChatGPT, like I was, copy pasting the error. I was copy pasting the code and asking like, could you change? Is there any error? It was asking me to do something. I would do it, and then something will happen, and then something else will pop in. This cycle continued for like the next 4 to 5 hours. So for those who know, like the duration of the hackathon was I think till 5 p.m. So it was like around 2 or 2:30 p.m. when the other team members said Surajaya, Aman and Harshita, they asked me updates regarding my user page. And I was like, I have been building something. I am not sure of it. No, I am not able to do it. It's prompting a lot of errors. And they were like, yeah, yeah, take your time. They were so super supportive. But I was so clueless. I was not ready to ask help because firstly I thought I would disturb the workflow that they were doing so well. And secondly, I was ashamed to do because it's like you are a team. You were supposed to contribute something and they are doing the back end. She's doing the front end, so you're also supposed to contribute something to the project. And we had a group, a WhatsApp group, and in which Hajita was constantly sharing the pictures of everything that she was building, and she was so good, like she was able to do it. She was adding features, she was adding even minute features into it. And she was like, kind of improvising the app one by one. And here I am stuck with something so specific. It's just one, it's just the user app that I was asked to build, and I was so stuck with it. And like around 2:30 p.m., 3 p.m., I kind of gave up. I was like, Jonah, you don't know anything. You are terrible. And I was questioning my decision of first I was questioning the decision of choosing, and of accepting or like to, contribute to this team. And after some point, the frustration led to, questioning my decision of even choosing to do programming. I was like, are you even good at it? Did you just waste 1 year of your engineering not doing anything at all? And I was questioning everything that I did. I didn't cry, but I was feeling so bad and I was feeling so sad. And then after some time, I was working on it, and then I thought, okay, I know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and I was like, okay, let me build something with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and yeah, it will be simple, but I know how to do it. If there's an error, I know how to debug it because I've worked a bit with it, so let me do it. So I start and I build a user page using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And what happens is, one, I built a login page. I'll add screenshot of it. It was basic. It was just a login page, right? And I sent a screenshot of it in the group. So I'm like, so it's better like I'm okay. Finally, I did something. I contributed at least a little bit to the project, and I was like, okay, you can feel a little good about yourself now. They at least think I haven't done nothing. So yeah, and I sent a screenshot in the group, and Harshita says, Jonah, the user page that I meant was like the user page, like the profile page, not the login page. Like for example, in Instagram, if you click on the round icon, right, uh, in the side, you will get a user page, right, where you can see your profile picture, you can see your posts, number of posts, your followers following. You can edit your profile. You can also see all your posts down, reels, and etc. So that's called your profile, like the user page. And I was like, what? What did I just do now? And I was like, oh, okay. And I felt even more low now because I didn't even understand what I was working on, and I was working on something for the past 5 hours, which was of absolutely no use. I was working in the wrong direction, and I was doing something for absolutely no use. And then I'm like, okay. So I asked Harshita, like, I built it using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, so is it fine? So she said, I think we can integrate HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in MERN stack because we are building a React app, right? So we need to do it in React. It's a TSX file, so it won't take in a JS file. And I'm like, oh God, I don't even know this. I don't even know such thing exists. I didn't know like you can't integrate JS into TSX. My mind didn't even think that something like that was there, and it was like, okay, you don't know anything. You just don't know it. And I was just sitting, and it was like around 3:30, and I texted Suraj and he was like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing?" I said, "I was building the wrong thing. Some miscommunication. Misunderstood it." And he said, "Hey, it's fine. I'll give you some tasks. You do it." And he said, clone it and look out for any errors in the thing. So yeah, I clone it, and the way I was looking out for errors was like I was running the website in my system, and what I was doing is was there any feature missing that was not good, like was to be changed? I was doing that. I was like taking screenshot of it and telling like, hey, this needs to be changed. This thing is not aligned properly and stuff. He's like, hey, it's not what I'm saying. You got it confused, so this is like this leave, and I'll take it up. And when he did that, he didn't shame me for it. He was just being very polite and all that. But at that point, I was like, okay, I don't know this is as a, you know, he trusted me with one work and I was not able to do it. I didn't know how to do it. And I felt even more low because he's like, that's it, you don't know anything. You don't know how to build a basic app. And yeah, I didn't know how to process that. And I was just sitting there, and it was around 3:30. I said, Bhaiya, can I go have my lunch? And he said, yeah, go on. and I went had my lunch. I just stuffed food. My parents were there. I didn't talk to them much. I just said, I have a lot of work to do and all that. They don't even know any of this. So I just said that to them and came back, sat in front of the computer and I go back to his friend, like, where should I do something? Like, I haven't done anything. And he said, hey, you know what? Like, we need to submit a presentation, so do it. So he said, do it in Canva, like this, add all this. And I was like, okay, Canva is something I know, I have worked with, I can do this. So I, in the end, do the Canva presentation. So that was my only contribution to the, um, you know, how many hours after hackathon is it? 9 to 9 is 12. So it's minus 4. So it's an 8-hour hackathon. So in the 8 hours of work, I contributed by doing the presentation. So yeah, that's how I felt. I felt terrible. Genuinely, I couldn't process it. Like I was just looking into the screen and I was like, you don't know anything. You just are so not good at things. You have a lot to know. You have a lot to improve. And after the hackathon, I was just sitting. I was sitting in my place. I was just looking, staring into the you know, wall, and I was saying, I'm thinking, I was retrospecting what is to be changed, what is something that I'm lacking. And what I realized was I knew programming language just in a very abstract manner. I knew Express, I knew Node.js, I knew how it worked, but when it comes to applying it to real world projects, I didn't know because I haven't done projects before. I had just learned the stuffs as concepts. I know what HTTP is, I know what routing is, modules are, local modules, etc., etc. But when it comes to building one from scratch for a specific purpose, it comes with a lot of stuffs and it makes it complex. At the same time, the scope of getting an error is much more in this case. So I was not used to this environment of getting errors, clearing it, checking where I went wrong, and redoing it. I was not used to this because I have been doing this static work. I've just been doing abstract conceptual understanding. I didn't have in-depth real world application based understanding on concepts, and that needs to be changed. And in this video, why I documented this and why I'm posting this is for people out there who are going to go to their first hackathon and just feel lost with it, right? Because there's high chance that you will do, because hackathons are pretty much overrated. I won't say overrated in the wrong way, but it is overrated. I think it is necessary for it to be overrated because it gives you a lot of scope to learn and gives you a lot of scope to network with people. And that's how my first hackathon went. It was not a very nice story, but the reason I'm sharing it online to all of you is for you to know that know and relate and learn from what I have done wrong. So there are a few lessons that I would like to share from what I have learned in my hackathon. So they are as follows. So firstly, uh, knowing stuff is not equal to doing it. So when you just know a programming language, let's say JavaScript or HTML or CSS, it is so much different from knowing those concepts from actually building projects using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So what I would say is there are so many tutorials out there. So sit down, watch it, and build along with them. So in this process, you will not just build, but you will also learn. You will face a lot of errors, and with these errors, you'll learn. So you'll debug it, you'll look what is wrong, you'll try to change the syntax, you'll try to do different things, and in this you'll find different ways to do the same thing. So I think that's more important than just studying stuffs. So next is debugging is 90% of development. So building real world projects is pretty much messy because errors aren't exceptions. They are just the process of building projects by itself. You aren't behind. You're just facing the truth of programming. when you face errors. So if you master the art of debugging errors, you are almost way ahead of 90% of the people out there. So that is something that I had to learn the hard way, and I think there's so much to learn. And I always thought, like I used to think, I had worked so hard in my first year, which a lot of people didn't do. But the thing is, if you don't put in your hard work in the right direction, it's as good as not working at all. So that's what I learned from this hackathon. And next is team is much, much greater than ego. So if I had just let down my ego and asked for help, I would have saved myself a lot of time. I would have saved myself a lot of pressure here. And I didn't. So team is there to help, right? Having supportive teammates is very, very important, who just don't judge you and who just are ready to help you out is such a blessing, especially when it comes to such competitive environment, and it's a highly stressful situation which is time. So when you have a time constraint, there's a high chance that everyone is under stress, and there's a high chance that they could just burst out and be like, "Hey, everyone, you don't even know this hour. Like, how did you even come this far? Like, how do you even say that you know this, but you don't know how to fix this?" But if they say that, you'll just feel very, you just feel very low about the situation. But it's blessed to have amazing teammates who are ready to help. But I was not ready to ask for help. So I think that's something that you should do. So having good teammates is important, and also you letting down your ego, letting down your guard, and going out there and asking for help is very, very important. So the fourth is self-awareness is superpower. So this hackathon gave me a reality check that there's so much more that I have to do. It is never enough. I have so much. When I say so much, I genuinely mean so much to learn, so much to build, so much to work on myself, on my studies, on my character, my persona, how I approach things, how I manage stress, uh, and all that. So that's what I learned. I learned it the hard way. So I'm saying it out to you also that you could also retrospect on yourself, introspect on yourself, and realize what is to be changed about you. So yeah. Next is burnout is not equal to output. So I gulped 3 cups of coffee and I was staring at the screen all day, and that doesn't mean I was being productive. I was just, as I said earlier, I'm just putting my effort in the wrong direction, which yielded nothing. So just because you sit in front of the computer and pretend like you work, it doesn't mean you were actually working. So real work comes from fixing errors, building stuffs, building projects, networking with people, getting to know stuffs, and when you are not able to figure it out yourself, asking out for help also is a form of learning, and that provides you with better outputs than just sitting static and just staring into your computer to figure it out all yourself, because you don't have all time in the world. So yeah, that's the thing. So how to prepare better for the future hackathons is something which I cannot say right now because I'm still in the process of doing it. So I'm just going to try out a lot of things. I've got a lot of advice. I spoke to Suraj Bhaiya, Harshita Devi, and after that, and I got to learn a lot from them. So in my future video, in my future videos, I'll be covering about my second, my third, all my future hackathons will be documented and posted about in this channel. But you can also get an experience of how I learned doing things in this platform. So thank you so much for listening to me all this while. And if you really found it helpful, do state your comments down in the comment section below so that I know what you find insightful and what you want to be covered in the future videos. You can also put it down in the comments so that I can you know uh, have an idea of what are the type of content that you would like to engage with. And I have given my social media handles in the description down below. To follow me out there, especially in LinkedIn. I post a lot of fun stuff there, and I update myself. I update what I do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis out there. So you can connect with me there as well. So thank you so much for watching the video, and until next time,